Quiet, please.
More from you.
Quiet, please. James Harold. Rinius agus a háirte bhhailm anháilte a choróid tróna ag an oscailt táhacht do Caimé Ceappa seo tróna. An ócáid cultúrga agus nach aontar chorad é slua mór eiceáil agus go háirithe slua mór alíontóirí. We're competing today with the Lord and with nature and with a lot of sunshine, so it's really special to see such a good big crowd again in an art gallery. This is a very special exhibition. I think this has been the suggestion made to us by Dean Kelly, and it was a bit of a nightmare to hang because it's so diverse and so wonderful. But that's the excitement of the show, I think, for us. And we're absolutely delighted to have today, to open the exhibition, our new arts officer in the city. He had quite big shoes to fill, reasonably big shoes to fill anyway. But he's doing it very well, I have to say. And one thing about
he's actually shoeless.
He actually answers the phone, which is a major advance on his. Anyway, would you please welcome Gary McMahon?
Thorved Brodul, a bheith mask am Tróna agus Tom Fearbuig, Tom Cura Queer. I'm delighted to be here this afternoon. I'm very proud to be here as the City Arts Officer, but as a Galwegian at Galway Emerges. I was thinking about Galway Emerges, and I came out yesterday and had a look, and Tom and Dean were furiously working away trying to figure out how to make it all fit, and of course they have, as usual, with aplomb, and it's bright and airy and summery, and it has emerged. And it's just in terms of the title, and of course Galway Emerges is the title of Dean's painting here on this wall over here. So I suspect Dean's hands on mitts all over this, as well as obviously Tom's and the rest of the team from Kenny's. But Galway Emerges makes it sound like, oh, we're all brand new, we're emerging, but it's Galway Teachtamach, Galway ag Iriamach an Saura. It's an emergence, it's a rising, it's a phoenix-like. We've been stuck in the primordial soup of the unmentionable for the last 2 years. And we didn't have gatherings like this, and we didn't. And much as online is the wave of the future, it's not really. And this is what art and conviviality and culture is about. It's about the interaction, human interaction, people seeing each other, seeing things, seeing viscerally paintings like this, pieces like Sean Finnegan's, the Farrell's brothers' work here. And that has emerged, and that has come out from having been hidden from us for the last 2 years. And individually, the art is struggling away and working away. Unless you're an absolutely complete ascetic hermit, I would imagine, and I'm not an artist, but I would imagine that part of the reason for being an artist is not just the creation, but it's also the demonstration. And this is what this exhibition allows, the demonstration of the work that is there. Some of it, it's not all new, but a lot of it is new. And it is hugely expressive of Galway. I overheard someone recently, in the last week actually, in a visual arts space that wasn't in the town of Galway, saying, Galway, it's not really a visual arts town, it's more performance. They like the theatre and literature and whatever. But something like this just gives the lie to this. But also, this is about performance. This is performance. It's performance using the visual arts, using painting, drawing, sculpture. It is performance of the interior world of the artist but also in a social and cultural milieu. I'm delighted that Kenny's, as ever, ahead of the game. Been ahead of the game for a long time, for 82 years, in terms of all sorts of things. Actually, just as a small aside, they're ahead of the game. Kenny's moved out from the city centre out to the eastern suburbs. Opened up yesterday's City Tribune. Jesus, City Council is following them. We'll be up around the corner and we're a view before you know it. It's the way, maybe that's the way of the future. But anyway, Shin Scale Lella. But in terms of what this is about, it's not just the individual pieces, which are of themselves are absolutely fantastic. And I know there's a large number of the artists that are actually here today, but not everyone is, and not everyone is a close family relative of it. So these are, of course, all for sale. And artists don't live on sunshine, fresh air and good wishes. They live on cash and bread and butter and Scuttermax burgers and chips. So, kind of, there's that to be borne in mind. These are established artists. There's some of them emerging artists. Some of them are mid-career artists, to use that phrase. People like Jennifer Cunningham, whose work is over here, who is we still, if you're of an age, you think, Jennifer, she's a lovely young one, but she's not. She is a lovely young one, but she's been around working, building her art around people. The loud laughter from Margaret Nolan, who's building and working as an artist in Galway and making it happen, and her work down here, which is entirely reflective of Galway, and a kind of a new departure in using collage. And I think last week's City Tribune, yes, to give it a second mention, including match reports. This is about an ecosystem. It's an ecosystem that has been dormant, but it's now emerging. It's now coming out. It's blooming. This has bloomed, and I'm delighted to see it. Part of the reason I'm delighted to see it, and Tom referred to the fact that I'm a relatively new City Arts Officer, having taken over from my colleague and friend, James Harold, shoeless James as they call him now, and because I have his shoes to fill. But James left a huge legacy, but among the legacies he left was a new strategic plan for the arts called New Directions, which was published this time last year, just around this time last year. And it is a brilliant piece of work that James worked on with a whole load of people and consultation and with the assistance of Mary McAuliffe. But there are three key elements to that. It's about supporting, developing, encouraging a creative city through creative children and young people, creative communities, including communities of artists, and a creative city and region, and striving towards the support that you need to make that happen, and to encourage and move on and emerge further into where we are. We've had a rough couple of years. We've had a rough couple of years in terms of the whole of society, in terms of the great unmentionable. But there's the other great unmentionable, where all our hopes and dreams, certainly people from in the cultural world in Galway, in terms of Galway 2020, it didn't happen. It happened online, but it effectively didn't happen. And there's been kind of a, can we even mention it? Well, we can, because we are emerging from it, we're building from it, and we're moving on. And I just basically want to say that my job is to support this ecosystem of which you, the artists, are part of which Kelly's Gallery, the bookshop, and all the other cultural institutions in the city and the region are part of. For as long as I have the job, and I don't expect to be there for 30 years like James, but for as long as I have it, my job will be to provide support, advice, encouragement, and as much as I possibly can. And all I can do today is to celebrate, of course, and to join with people in celebrating. And I join with you and with Kenny's in celebrating Galway artists as they emerge. Galia Vabu, thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you very kindly. And thank you, everybody, for your attention. I just hope you enjoy the exhibition. I know half of you are driving, but for the other half, there's plenty of wine out there as well, and water for those who are driving. So, Guramila Mahagi, and thank you again. Thank you.